Hello sweeties, and welcome back to another episode of, come on guys, this is getting more ridiculous by the second. I actually had a different video ready to go up today, but I felt this was far more important and needed to be said. I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't know where this takes place, I don't know for sure when it took place, and I'm not 100% certain of the context of the story or the video. I've heard a few different versions. However, what I am comfortable with saying is that I'm fairly certain it doesn't take place in either of the states that are dealing with the bathroom law issue. And I'm fairly certain that it took place before all of this, but it does shed some very important light on what we're looking at if this continues and spreads. For those of you who don't know what the bathroom law is, it states that a person must use the restroom that corresponds with their birth gender or birth sex. Meaning, if you were born as a male, you must use the men's. If you were born as a female, you must use the women. As I'm sure you've seen, there's a video of police officers forcibly removing a woman from the woman's restroom. As you would expect, and is appropriate, this video has been met with outrage. I mean, come on. Male police officers barging into the women's restroom, demanding to see an ID of one of them just because she's masculine presenting. And when she doesn't show them one, they put their hands on her, forcibly remove her from the bathroom, and call her sir multiple times. I completely understand why everyone is so upset about it. However, some of this outrage is presenting itself as something troubling and fairly problematic. To be fair, these comments seem to be few and far between. However, for every comment like this, there are tons more people thinking and vocalizing the same thing. I'm going to give these people the benefit of the doubt for the most part and assume they're not doing it on purpose, but that doesn't make these things that they're saying any less dangerous. Because whether they mean it this way or not, what they're actually saying is, yes, it's ridiculous that this is happening, and we shouldn't allow it to continue. But if it was a trans person, then I think it might actually be okay. Because despite the fact that your gender is 100% how you feel and not how you were born, people are stuck on what might be in a trans person's pants and what they might do with it. Like peeing. But what this mindset does is it allows society to dismiss an issue if it's a trans issue, to not worry about it at all until it affects cis people. The fact that it didn't really become public outrage until it happened to a cis person perpetuates the idea that maybe it's not a bad thing, or that trans issues aren't as important as cis issues. Even the fact that I didn't feel it was as necessary to voice this opinion until this video surfaced is part of the problem. I am 100% aware that I am part of the problem. Anyone with cis privilege is inherently part of the problem. However, that doesn't mean that we can't be part of the solution. Don't be afraid to make a fuss. And I don't mean about this video, because let's be honest, this is going to affect trans people far more than it's ever going to affect cis people. Don't be afraid to make some noise. Turn your volume all the way up and yell and stomp your feet until they don't have any other choice but to listen. From what I understand, the reason that they're giving that these laws even exist, because let's be real, no one wants to admit they're doing it just because they're transphobic, is because they're worried that there will be men in the women's bathroom. Really? Like, you understand that now that you're forcing trans people to use the wrong bathrooms, there will now be men entering the women's bathrooms. In my opinion, gender-neutral bathrooms are the way to go. It's really not that difficult. You can just take the little plaques out of the door that say men and women, and now the biggest difference is this one has urinals and this one doesn't. You literally have to change nothing else about the bathrooms to make them gender-neutral. I went to a high school where we didn't gender our bathrooms. There was technically, I guess, a men's and women's locker room for the basketball court, kind of, but that was only for practice. When we had doubleheader home games, we would share the locker room. We would have a home locker room and an away locker room, and it didn't cause any problems. We had our men's and women's, varsity and JV, sharing the same really small locker room, and as far as I'm aware, there were never any issues. But anyway, give this video a thumbs up if you agree, and I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter, so please feel free to leave a comment down below. But if by some miracle this video gets a lot of comments and they all happen to disagree with each other, please, I'm begging you, please keep it civil and solely as a way to educate both myself and others. I would love for this to remain a safe, positive space for us to all learn together. So go ahead and click the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.